Welcome to Glorious Botafogo, your number one source of Botafogo news in English. Botafogo lost to Cruzeiro at the Newton Santos tonight. It was supposed to be a celebration for Savarino's new tifo, Savarino's new banner that the supporters created and took to the Newton Santos tonight to show the Venezuelan how much he's appreciated by the Botafogo fans, especially after the great 2024 season that Savarino had, pulling 14 goals and assists in one season, is directly responsible for 28 goals last season. So he definitely had a big impact, and its impact in what is the most successful season in the club's history deserves that recognition. So Savarino got that recognition tonight, but the party was spoiled by Cruzeiro, which once again, they came to the Newton Santos and they took Botafogo's invincibility at home. After 16 matches unbeaten at home, Botafogo falls again to Cruzeiro, which was the team that broke that streak last time. Last year, Cruzeiro went to the Newton Santos and beat Botafogo, and Botafogo was champions in all of it last year. So if there's things that are going to be mirrored, hopefully is that. But it doesn't seem so. It doesn't seem like Botafogo has the quality in its reserves and substitutes, and doesn't have the depth in the squad, and there's not the same consistency as we had last year. Well, because last year, Arthur Jorge was commanding the group from the get-go, from the very beginning. Ancelotti's only been at the club for 3 weeks, and this is in the middle of the season. Whenever we were in the middle of the season, that's when John Textor got some extra players to come in and help, like Alex Telles and Vitinho. This time, we're still building our midfield, we're still building our defense, we're still building our attack. The poor planning of 2025 shows in matches like these. When you get teams that are well-trained, this Cruzeiro team is well-trained. Leonardo Jardim is doing one hell of a job with this Cruzeiro squad, because on paper, Botafogo has the better starting 11, arguably. Botafogo has the better squad, the better depth compared to this Cruzeiro. But this Cruzeiro is in first place right now, beating teams like Botafogo, Palmeiras, all the title contenders. They're beating them all. And that's because of the planning that they had that started in the beginning of the year with the coach that went through the state tournament, got to know his players, and then when the season started, he was ready to go. Cruzeiro was rocking and rolling, beating everybody after just coming back from the Serie B. And if you don't know this, Cruzeiro is a big Brazilian team. They're a very traditional team with a lot of titles, a lot of important titles, and they spent an arduous 3 years in the Serie B, I think, 2 to 3 seasons in the Serie B. They could not come up. And then they finally did and got the financial backing, and they hired a coach, a good coach that Botafogo tried at the beginning of the season. They got him, and they're starting to plan the team. They signed some players that are showing a good result on the pitch, and they're reaping the benefits. And they did everything opposite of Botafogo this season. It's really showing how poorly managed the club has been from the beginning of the season, and it started with the hiring of Renato Paiva. It should have never happened. And if it did, it should have happened at the beginning of the year, right? Before the Carioca. So we could have seen that Renato Paiva does not stick to one philosophy of playing. He will change. That's not what John Textor wants. He wants one philosophy, his attacking-minded philosophy, always trying to win. If you lose, that's okay, as long as you tried to win, right? Those are his words. And with Paiva, he would play 3 CDMs, very vertical transitional passing, especially against teams that are stronger. And you saw that at the World Cup of Clubs. And we saw that with Botafogo Films, which is a film that they released, like a 15-minute documentary on Davide Ancelotti's arrival, and it showed the talk that John Textor had with the squad after the Palmeiras game, with coaches at the time, Renato Paiva, and players. So you can say these kinds of things, John, but they have to be observed over a period of time. You already knew that Renato Paiva was not going to stick to his guns, right? I mean, we knew this was going to happen. Renato Paiva was not the face, was not the name. It was obvious. Okay, now Davide Ancelotti, to me, looks like he's got that DNA that John Texter's looking for. But I don't think this squad has that DNA. There are some players in there that they're just not good enough. Not yet, at least. Right? We have nobody to help Arthur on the right side. He needs to rest. We have Arthur Cabral, which is our number 9, but he's clearly tired. When it gets to the second half, he's done. Right? He's a kind of a heavy player. So we need another number 9 to either help him or to fight for his spot, or maybe even have a number 9 with more mobility, because we don't have that right now. On the left side, we only have Montoro. In the middle, okay, we have Savarino and Tuco Correa, but both Savarino and Tuco Correa aren't playing well. They're just not doing the job. In the middle, we have Marlon Freitas, we have Alain, we have Newton, and now we have Danilo. Right? So it's 4 center mids / CDMs for 2 positions. We saw today that we need somebody that knows how to defend like Gregory did. And today they tried that with Alain and just didn't work out. And then we're talking about Marlon Freitas had a terrible game. I saw a little bit and then I saw highlights. I couldn't see the whole game. I saw the last 15 minutes of the match, or the last 12 minutes. And then for the first half, I went through and I watched the highlights. Those first goals, by the way, what was John doing on that first goal? The way that he threw that ball back behind Alan, Alan didn't even see that he threw the ball to him. And it was such a lazy pass, man. Such a lazy pass. Of course, Cruzeiro got the ball from Alan that didn't even know the ball was coming and got it to the side, crossed it in. John dove late to the ball. Barbosa couldn't get a foot in there, and they scored. And then for the other goal, it was a counterattack from a corner when Marlon Freitas was on a foot race against the Cruzeiro striker. Marlon kind of stopped. Caio Fernando Pantaleão, he stopped in that run. Barbosa stopped, but then he realized that he saw Matheus Pereira coming from the left. That he tried to gain some ground. Where he got there was too late, 2-0. I just don't know, man. I just don't know. It seems to me that we're getting exposed. And then Caio Pantaleão felt an injury. Cuiabano felt an injury. What's going to happen if those 2 guys are out for the next game? Now, Tanfe Hernandez got an injury, but according to Davide Ancelotti, he's going to be ready for the next match. It just seems that our poor planning for the season is really showing its holes right now. It's showing weak links, and we're gonna need to sign more players if we want to fight for anything. Because I think this year is going to be cups, because Botafogo is not consistent enough to win the Brasileirão. Okay, we got 4 losses, 7 wins, and 4 draws, right? And last year we had 7 losses total, and I think 8 draws, something like that. We're getting close to, we can't afford to lose anymore if we want to win the Brasileirão, and that's if the other teams don't keep up with their form. Because right now Cruzeiro is looking good. Flamengo's got the depth. Palmeiras has got the depth-ish. We are getting exposed. And we got nobody other to blame but whoever is in charge. Poor planning. Perhaps spending too much time trying to save Olympique Lyonnais got us to this point. But we need to do better. The team is good, but it's not good enough to fight for all 3 titles. Maybe we'll get 1. Maybe not. But we need to do better. If you got here so far, please like, please subscribe to the channel. Botafogo returns this coming Wednesday at 5 p.m. against Bragantino for the return of the Copa do Brasil. Remember, the Botafogo won 2-0 at the Newton Santos. So if Red Bull Bragantino wants to go through, they have to win by 3 goals. 3-0 at their home or 2-0 to take it to penalty. So it's been a tough day for Botafogo, but hopefully we can come back, beat Bragantino on Wednesday, and then we will see Fortaleza on Saturday at 6:30 p.m. And unfortunately, I think I'm going to miss both of these matches, man. Pretty unfortunate. But anyways, I will, as always, come over here and say my piece.